Former world number 1 reveals how Eala makes opponents very uncomfortable. Tennis great Kim Clijsters has broken down Eala's game and revealed how the Filipina star makes her opponents very uncomfortable. Eala soared to her career-high ranking of world number 31 after her run to the quarterfinals of the WTA 1000 event in Dubai last week. The 20-year-old upset world number 8 Jasmine Paolini, her third win over a top 10 player, in the second round in Dubai, while she also defeated Hailey Baptiste and Serena Sursti before losing to Coco Gauff. The Filipina, who had a breakout season in 2025, holds a 10-6 record in 2026, including matches at WTA Challenger/125 level. Speaking on the latest episode of her Love All podcast, Clijsters explained what Eala does so well. Well, there's a lot of things that she does really well. And I think there's a lot of things that make her opponents very uncomfortable, said the former world number 1. She has, one of the things that she can't control is that she's a left-hander. There's always something about playing a left-hander, you get pulled out of the court a little bit differently with her forehand cross-court. Want more from Tennis 365? Add us as a preferred source on Google to your favorites list for tennis coverage you can trust. Her forehand is really good, but I think her backhand is better. Her backhand is a little bit more of an aggressive shot. The combination of her aggressive baseline shots, with her backhand, and then the ability to hit a heavier spin and make your opponents step back a little bit behind the baseline, being able to make the angle with her forehand and open up the court, a lot of times to her opponent's backhand, is something that a lot of players have a really hard time dealing with. And her footwork is really good, she has great stamina. We've seen her against IGA, Swiatek, last year, where she played a really good match. She's still very young, but we see the mental growth as well. The 4-time Grand Slam champion went on to describe Eala as a pit bull and compared her to former world number 4 Dominika Cibulkova. She reminds me a little bit of she has that kind of pit bull. Dominika Cibulkova was a little bit like that, to me as well, the Belgian continued. They have such quick feet, but the ability from a defensive situation to still move into the court and become an aggressive player is a very tough combination to handle on the other side of the net. So very interesting, has done great things so far at a young age. Still has some improvements to get to, and consistency is something that's going to be very important. A lot of players know her now, know her strengths, know her weaknesses. So that's something that she's going to have to deal with as well, is to make sure she can make her strengths become even stronger, but work on some of the weaknesses. Former world number 1 reveals how Eala makes opponents very uncomfortable. Under the bright stadium lights, when the crowd begins to hum and rackets crack sharply against neon felt, there is a certain kind of player who unsettles more than she overpowers. She doesn't always need thunderous serves or headline-grabbing theatrics. Instead, she moves with intent. She calculates. She presses on invisible bruises. And according to former world number 1 Martina Hingis, that's exactly what Eala does best. She makes you very uncomfortable, Hingis said, leaning back with the knowing smile of someone who has lived through every possible tactic professional tennis can throw at you. And in this sport, discomfort is everything. The art of disruption. Tennis is often described as a game of power, speed, and endurance. But at its highest levels, it becomes psychological warfare. Hingis, a 5-time Grand Slam singles champion, built her own career not on brute strength but on anticipation and geometry. She recognized something familiar in Eala, a mind that sees 2 shots ahead, a temperament that refuses panic. Some players hit harder, Hingis explained. Some serve bigger. But Alex? She reads you. And when someone reads you, suddenly your favorite patterns stop working. Eala's game is not loud, it is probing. Her left-handed strokes curl wickedly across the court, dragging opponents wide before snapping the ball back behind them. She doesn't rush points unnecessarily. She stretches them. She elongates rallies until doubt seeps into the other side of the net. Discomfort. It begins subtly. An opponent prepares to dictate with a heavy forehand, only to find the ball returning deeper than expected. A drop shot attempt meets swift anticipation. A cross-court exchange turns into a down-the-line surprise. Patterns crumble. Rhythm dissolves. She changes pace beautifully, Hingis added. You think you're settling into a rally, and suddenly she floats one short. Or she speeds it up. There's no autopilot against her. From Manila to the world stage. Long before she was unsettling seasoned professionals, Eala was a young girl in the Philippines swinging under humid skies, dreaming beyond the archipelago. Born in 2005, she rose through the junior ranks with purpose. Her breakthrough moments on the Junior Grand Slam stage signaled something rare, a Filipino talent capable of transcending geography. Training at the prestigious academy of Rafael Nadal in Spain shaped her competitive spine. The clay courts demanded patience. The regimen demanded discipline. The philosophy demanded respect for the grind. And Eala absorbed it. She learned structure early, Hingis observed. That academy doesn't just teach strokes. It teaches suffering, the good kind. The kind that builds champions. But unlike Nadal's explosive ferocity, Eala's demeanor remains composed. Her celebrations are measured. Her fist pumps controlled. Even in tight moments, her face often carries an analytical calm, which, according to Hingis, makes opponents even more uneasy. If someone looks nervous, you feel relief, she said. If someone looks calm when you're struggling, that's terrifying. The left-handed puzzle. Left-handers have always added a layer of complexity in tennis. The spins move differently. The angles open unexpectedly. The patterns most right-handed players rehearse for years suddenly require recalibration. Hingis faced legends like Serena Williams and Steffi Graf, athletes who imposed their will through sheer dominance. But she insists that discomfort often came from players who disrupted rhythm rather than overwhelmed physically. Alex's lefty serve into the ad court is tricky, Hingis noted. It pulls you off the court, and before you recover, she's dictating with the next ball. It is not necessarily about aces. It's about positioning, about forcing a half-step hesitation. At the elite level, that half-step is a canyon. Tactical maturity beyond her years. What strikes former champions most is not just Eala's skill, but her decision-making. Young players often chase winners too early. They rush points. They attempt highlight shots instead of constructing victories. Eala builds. She layers pressure like a chess player placing pieces carefully before checkmate. A heavy cross-court topspin. A probing slice. A sudden acceleration down the line. Then silence. The point over. She doesn't panic when she's down, Hingis emphasized. That's huge. When you're trying to close out a match and your opponent refuses to fade, that's uncomfortable. Matches are not just physical contests. They are emotional balances. When one player senses the other tightening, energy shifts. Eala has developed an instinct for